What's going on, everybody? Devore Havoc
Mm-hmm.
and Shake Money. This is the Not for
Yep.
Debate podcast. Be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and most definitely share. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor, along with other major streaming platforms. We are joined today with a special guest, Cassidy Wolf. What is going on, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me tonight.
Absolutely, man. And any way to sit back and motivate the folks, man. We always open to that.
Good, good,
But
good to hear.
I do want to bring up some breaking news though that just happened a few minutes ago. Fernando Tatis Jr. from the San Diego Padres just signed a 14-year, $340 million contract with the Padres.
Wow.
So they gave him one of those contracts. So they think he's a cornerstone. He's their cornerstone.
That's what's up.
That is a lot of money.
That's a ton of money. And by the way, Major League Baseball contracts are guaranteed. So all that money is his.
That's one thing that we need to push for in the NFL. Definitely.
I agree. 100%.
Now, Cassidy,
Jay Hearn.
yeah, what's going on? Shout out to Jay Hearn. Haven't seen you in a while, Jay Hearn. But Cassidy, real quick though, because I was looking at your profile, you got quite a few interesting sports teams here as far as you like the Dallas Stars, the Blue Jays, and you like the Miami Dolphins. Like, can you give us a little background of how you became fans of those teams, considering how you're from? Well, I can understand the Blue Jays, but where you're from, Canada, is like, can you give us a little bit of background as far as the Dolphins are concerned and the Dallas Stars, please?
Well, but the Dolphins one was a interesting story of when I was younger. I was having a sleepover at my buddy's, and was in the 5 to 10 range. I can't remember the exact age. And he come running in the one night, and he says, "Who do you like better, the Dolphins or the Raiders?" I said, "The Dolphins." Ever since then, that's how it goes. The Dallas Stars, I've always been a fan of Mike Modano and Neil Broughton back when they were in Minnesota there. And that kind of just continued into Dallas, and hence that one's history too. And the Blue Jays, yeah, that one is the only Canadian one I got.
I'm fascinated by people that have favorite teams all over the place. Like I can't do it, but I'm fascinated by it. Maybe
I'm in a place that don't.
Yeah, go ahead. I was listening. Go ahead, Kaz.
Oh, sorry. It was just kind of jumping there. No, growing up where I am, like I grew up in this area, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, pretty much my whole life. The only thing we have here is like a junior team in the WHL. So the closest thing is the Riders for the CFL, and I was never really a CFL fan. So I took a liking to the NFL after that conversation with my buddy. And so normally I guess a guy should have took a Canadian team for hockey at least, but just didn't work out that way.
So let me
what's funny is I started off.
Oh, go ahead, Shake. Yeah, go ahead, Shake.
Hey, I was gonna say I started off when I first started in getting into sports. I started off a Blue Jays fan, believe it or not, and then Miami got their own franchise, and that's how I became the Marlins fan. So
I could see that happening. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is also, very interesting about people who grow up in small towns that don't necessarily have teams in that area. Like I grew up, me and Shake are basically we're not from the same neighborhood, but we're from the same area out there in South Florida. So, it's Marlins, it's Heat, it's Dolphins, it's Panthers. You got a choice for every sport. But I always wonder, man,
Right.
people from the small towns, how do they land on their favorite team? Because I done met a handful, more than a handful of Canadians, whose favorite hockey team isn't from Canada.
Yeah, I think a lot of them, they got a lot of friends that are fans, of course, and a lot of peer pressure. But then you find, like me, you find that one player you're just a huge fan of, and you just kind of shoot towards that way too.
And your guy is Mike Modano?
Yeah. Mike Modano, Neil Broughton, John Casey, Brett Hull when he got there.
I hear you.
So who is your favorite Dolphins
I've been a fan
player?
for a long time.
I hear you. I got the
Well,
same
that
thing
would
with the
definitely
Panthers.
have to be Marino for sure.
Oh, it's Marino. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, Havoc, the reason why people like to root for teams that are not in their hometown is because maybe their hometown teams suck.
That's no reason to not like the hometown team, though.
Why not?
That's where all the fun of being a fan is rooting for a terrible team. So when they go from terrible to champion, you were there the whole time.
Well, here's another thing. How do you establish a connection with a team? I feel like it's based off of an experience, correct?
I agree. For me, it's locality. For
True.
some people, it's I like this player and they were on this team, so now I like that team. So for some people, it's they were popping, right? Like the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. Like the easiest team to be a fan of. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say, because in my area growing up, what you saw was obviously Redskins, Baltimore Ravens, but you saw a lot of Eagles too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like way more Eagles than what you would expect to see down in the Maryland area, and people would just be like, "All right, cool. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. All right, cool. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan because that's another big one too." But I believe in the early 2000s, you started seeing a lot more New England Patriots fans start to flourish, considering how they had the dynasty. But I think you just have to have like a very, very unique story when it comes down to how you became a fan of a team. Like
it's different for everybody.
Had a sleepover, and he ended up having to make a choice between the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins, I'm pretty sure, had the most prettier colors than just black and
yeah.
Black
Hey, we didn't all have a gun put to our head like Kaz did, you know.
It gave an ultimatum.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been a different team he asked me, and I wouldn't be having that conversation about the Dolphins anymore. But
you know, yeah, it could have been, pick between the Raiders and the Browns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're hooped either way.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, Cass, I'm gonna ask you just straight up right now. As far as Tua in the 2020 season, what are your thoughts on him so thus far?
I like the kid. He came out of Bama there, and I don't follow much college football, of course, but just watching the documentaries I watched after we drafted him, of course, and everything like that, and what he looks like he can do, it looks like it could be special. And you guys have probably heard this 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, that I don't think he had a core or a receiver core to actually work with to make him look that much better. And like there have been people that said he's used to Alabama open when it comes to receivers, so he's not used to the tight coverage that he had. But he also had trouble with receivers dropping ball. He had troubles with receivers going down in injury. He had backups he had to play with. But I think there's something good there. I'm a huge fan of Tua, that's for sure.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to second what Cass said, man, I agree with his assessment, but everybody knows how I feel about Tua. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. I agree with him too as well, but I feel like
any quarterback that comes into a Miami Dolphins uniform, you need to assess him the exact same way. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
That's fair.
You know,
but now that whole Watson thing comes up. You trade Tua and this and that. That's Deshaun Watson. That's a whole different conversation to have now. This is an established quarterback who did a whole bunch with less than what Tua had, I think.
Well, let's get into that actually.
Okay.
How you feeling about the Deshaun Watson rumors?
I was actually on the fence. As much as being a Tua fan, I was on the fence because, like I said, it is Deshaun Watson. You can't just – it's him. It's him. It was the whole package that I think after what Stafford got to go to L.A., what Deshaun Watson would cost us, and now hearing the Panther is willing to give up McCaffrey and picks and everything like that, like what would it cost us? And that's, I think, it's the whole boatload going that way that would ever stop me from ever actually wanting it to happen.
You know,
but would I like to have Deshaun Watson? Absolutely.
See, everybody wants to have Deshaun Watson, but nobody wants to pay the price. I'm cool with it.
Well, let me tell you something.
3 first-round picks. What's up, Shake?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give you my assessment on the Deshaun Watson pick. If two Victoria's Secrets offered me a threesome, I'll take it. But since that's not gonna happen, I'll stay with my girl. Okay?
Yeah.
What you mean? You never say never.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, bro.
Never.
It probably won't happen. But.
It probably won't, but never say never.
Listen, man, you gotta err on the side of probability, not exclusions to the rule. Is it like nothing's promised, but of course you want to go with the surest bet. And when I look at how far we've come from building this team, to give up that much high level draft capital when this team clearly still has holes.
Absolutely.
I'm not rolling. And in terms of quarterback play, the question for me is Tua, if you put the weapons around him, and I know this is the same argument you go back to DeVore, how come we're not evaluating other quarterbacks by the same standard of putting the weapons around them and seeing how they do? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we can't do anything about the past quarterbacks. We can only evaluate the quarterback that we have right now. So I would be invested in putting the right pieces around him and seeing what he can do, because at bare minimum, if you put the right people around him, he's not going to drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what to do with talent around him.
Right.
So,
like, the picks that we have, they got home run picks right now, I think. And even if they were the talks of possibly trading back to 6 or 8 or whatever, even then you could still get those weapons that's needed at that and still get something else with it. Mm-hmm. But you stick at 3, I think 3 and 18, I think you got home run picks right there to help Tua for sure.
All right, so at the number 3 pick, where you rolling at? Were you more towards the offensive lineman, or you more towards the wide receiver?
Wide receiver for sure.
Oh man,
I know, but we just drafted a defensive tackle last year too, and the line near like through the mid-season, end of season, the line didn't look that bad. It looked like he felt a little bit more comfortable. The guys were coming together, and they need that guy next to Parker that can open something up. A Devontae Smith, Lamar Chase, somebody that can waddle, someone that can fly open.
So I'm assuming you're not a believer in Preston Williams.
When he's healthy, yes. 2 years in a row he gets hurt. Like him and Tua had a good rapport there till he got hurt.
Yes,
you still need that third. You still need that third guy then if you want to add Williams as well. I apologize, I forgot about Williams there, but
a lot of people have.
You don't really see too much of him the second half of the season so far.
Right.
But for me, if Look, man, you give me the chance to take a possible once in a generation tackle. I'm taking Panay Sewell.
Yeah.
I'm cashing that check, and I'm running to the podium. I'm running to the podium to draft him.
For once, me and Havoc.
My heart is not broken if they get him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but
I'm running to the podium to draft him. So,
if I could say something about Preston Williams, is people don't realize that Deshaun Watson, his first 2 years in NFL, he played. He had 2 season-ending injuries, just like Preston Williams. So, you know what I mean. I'd rather the player get injuries when they're early. I've seen people that get injuries early in their career last longer than those guys that get them later in their career, because you know what I mean. They heal better when they're at that young age, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
I get that.
that's fair. That's a fair point. But I think the question is Preston Williams enough of a talent that you're willing to invest that time into seeing if that scenario will play out? Like, is he of a high enough talent level that, you know what, we'll ride this out for another 2 years? What I'm basically saying is, are you willing to give Preston Williams another contract?
From the small sample size that I have seen, I could say absolutely, considering the fact that he is on an undrafted free agent contract.
Okay. I understand that, but at a certain point, you're going to have to pay him. Is he the guy?
But
I think talent-wise, he is.
You only pay him if he's productive. That's the $1 million question. If he's productive, then we have something to talk about when we talk about big money. But if he ain't being productive, we could bring him back for something dirt cheap. Because remember, he's an undrafted free agent because he ended up having some issues down in Michigan. So,
Colorado State,
excuse me.
Yeah.
Spartans.
Buffalo, the Rams.
Thought it was the
Colorado
Spartans.
State Rams. No, Michigan State. Michigan State are the Spartans.
Okay, yes. That's my fault. But he ended up having some off the field issues at Colorado State. So again, production is key. Production is key for Preston Williams, and I feel like it's a low risk, high reward type of situation, considering how you have him on pennies on the dollar right now.
He's on a great deal right now,
and you never know.
There's no doubt about it.
You pick up that other receiver, you get that other receiver. Maybe he does become more dangerous because now he gets open. He's not covered as much. They're worried about that young kid going up the middle now or through the slot or wherever you put him. Open up Parker as well, but
that's true.
But yeah, you take Sewell. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad at any pick at 3, of course, but still, of course, they'll never tell us what they're doing.
Yeah. But to people who say they want Devontae Smith, though, I see it. And for me, I think it's a matter of preference, because I think they'll both have great careers. So, yeah. I mean, if it's me, though, man, all I know is when teams have good O-lines and have depth, you ain't too far away. You're not too far away. Look what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs. They were rolling all season long. What happened? In the championship game, they lost both of their tackles, and Patrick Mahomes was running all game long. So, for me, if you're telling me you want to invest in the O-line, build some depth, I'm with the program. I'm with the program.
I'm not against you. You're not wrong.
Okay, so Cass, since you decided to go receiver with the 3rd pick, what are you doing with that second pick, the 13th pick?
18 pick?
18. I got confused with last year's pick.
Oh, it's all good. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I've looked at mock drafts and everything like that, and Najee Harris, that's how you say it?
Najee.
Looks like he might be the pick at that time. Najee, sorry. And our running backs, Gaskin looked good at times, not all the time. Our running back situation is
I don't do dollar store.
Iffy.
No dollar store cash.
Yeah.
We don't do dollar store knockoff brand stuff. We want the real
What are you talking
deal.
about? What? What do you mean dollar store?
We want bounty. I want bounty. I want Charmin.
So what are you
That's what
saying?
I want.
That one ply is not good enough. I need that triple ply.
Hey, Shake, I'm just keeping it 100 here because last off season I have been on multiple platforms. The people that have raved about undrafted free agents, and them undrafted free agents have not panned out the way they were supposed to pan out. So with that being said, I'm tired of having this dollar store discount conversation. Give me a real deal player, and Najee's the real deal.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
if we go via free agency, I'm not exactly on board with Aaron Jones, but I'm pretty sure we can find something that could compensate the thirst at the running back position for us.
You probably could, yeah. That would be my pick at 18 anyway, would be Harris, if he's there.
I would agree. I would agree. And to be honest, I think if the wide receiver you really want is still there in the first round after Najee, like a Rondale Moore, someone like that, and you got to move some things around. Now, that being said, we have the Texans second round pick as well, so you may not even have to move around too many assets.
Right.
But when you have a lot of assets, I'm not against using your assets to get the guy you really want. So, the Dolphins could very well end up with another first round pick if they play their cards right and they see their guy in the position that they want. But we'll have to see, though.
That's true, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with Pete in the
Loves Zavin Collins.
Yeah, Zavin Collins at linebacker. That might be my second. That might be my second choice.
I like him a lot.
First round pick, because you talk about a linebacker with some girth and got some speed to go from sideline to sideline. That's your guy right there.
Yeah. No, what's he? He's walking around, 260?
260.
Like the more
linebacker.
The more I see of him, the more I'm like, and he can move too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He can move.
Yeah.
Like the more I see of him, I'm like, that solves our problem of getting pushed around in the run game in the interior.
Yes. Yeah. He established the will where he was able to push back a fullback and end up blowing up a play, something that you haven't seen in Miami for quite some time. You saw a little
very sparingly,
very
sparingly since old Zach Thomas. You know what I mean?
Been a while.
They try. I don't know why they're trying to keep him out the Hall of Fame, but it's beyond me. It's beyond me why they're trying to keep him out the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We didn't exactly touch on the Hall of Fame, did we?
I'm upset, bro. I'm upset, man, because I mean it just goes down the line. Zach Thomas, Richmond Webb. I think the fact that the Dolphins organization has not won championships since the 70s, they're really holding it against some of our legends. So, if Zach Thomas had a championship on his resume, he'd be in no problem. If Richmond Webb had a championship on his resume, he'd be in no problem. And there may be maybe one or two other people who might also be considered. But this is sports writers. It's the same reason why Eli Manning is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. No problem. Sure bet. It's the same reason why Zach Thomas still can't make it in the Hall of Fame. You got these sports writers, they got their own agendas, and they're going to do what they do. So I think his time's going to come, but he's going to have to wait. You know what I'm saying? Because Drew, look at Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson had to cry on TV for 10 straight years before getting admitted to the Hall of Fame. So, hey man, they're going to do what they want to do.
So let me ask you guys this:
Who would one last thing? Let me say something real quick. One thing I think one of the reasons and I'm not knocking Jason Taylor, but I think one of the reasons why Jason Taylor got in the Hall of Fame was because Tom Brady went out of his way and wrote that letter for him. And I think that's what kind of helped push the envelope over into getting him in the Hall of Fame.
So who would you guys prefer to leave off the list? For those that don't know the list, it was Alan Faneca, Tom Flores, Calvin Johnson, John Lynch, Peyton Manning, Bill Nunn, Drew Pearson, and Charles Woodson. So out of those guys, who would you have left off the Hall of Fame list to put Zach Thomas on?
None of them.
Megatron.
Megatron.
None of them, in my opinion. I say you just add Zach Thomas to that list.
No, you got. I'm sorry, you got to remove Megatron.
That's not a bad call.
You know what?
He'll make it eventually.
I hate to say this, and I'm not a big T.O. guy, but I think T.O. If T.O. didn't get in first ballot, Megatron shouldn't have gotten in first ballot because T.O. put up more numbers, more and better stats than Megatron did. But you know what I'm saying? He had more longevity. So I think if T.O. didn't get in, yeah. And so if T.O. didn't get in first ballot, he shouldn't have gotten in first ballot. But
what you think, Cass?
I could take Megatron out of that list for sure. I think.
I felt like it was kind of a slap in the face to put Megatron in there. I don't know who he know up in there for him to get up for
people.
Absolutely.
Knock shit over. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? He knows some people, but also, I mean, he had a 2,000-yard season as a wide receiver.
What does that mean? T.O. had a 20-catch game.
It means exactly what it means. I mean, look, man, it's kind of like Eli with the 2 Super Bowl wins. Megatron with the 2,000-yard season, that put him way over the top. I'm
taking 2 Super Bowls over a 2,000-yard season.
Of course, anybody would. But I'm saying in terms of the Hall of Fame, when you got that one stat in your column, they're gonna have to give it to you. You got the most receiving yards of anybody in NFL history in a single season. They have to give it to you.
But you ain't do nothing. You only played in 7 seasons. Only got one.
Detroit didn't do. Hold on. Detroit didn't do nothing with them. It's like how Detroit didn't do nothing with Barry Sanders. That's why he retired early.
Hey, well, I'm just saying though. T.O. went to multiple teams.
As a matter of fact, the fact that Barry Sanders retired early makes Calvin Johnson's case even stronger, because everybody knows if you're already beat up, ain't no point in playing for Detroit.
Hey, you see Matthew Stafford? He was holding it down.
He tried.
I mean, he tried. It's not like he just up and been like, trade me. They traded him.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just got him some. They could have just got him a team while he was playing there. But Detroit's gonna Detroit, man. Detroit's gonna Detroit.
Man, I guarantee you, Matthew Stafford's gonna shine in LA.
I believe that too.
I
love me some Matthew Stafford. Give him a play action game. Yeah, he's definitely going to be in the running for MVP for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen, please go on YouTube and type in Matthew Stafford arm angles. This man will. I mean, I done seen him throw no look pass touchdowns. Like, when it comes to throwing the ball, he's the truth. He's just been playing in Detroit, you know.
As another stat that
still did what he did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, there's another stat that not a lot of people pay attention to is the lack of a running game in Detroit. I believe they're like last over the last 10 years as far as average rushing yards a game. So if you add a rushing attack to Matthew Stafford, like it's bombs away for him in LA. But I still do think that they need another receiver for them to be able to be successful in LA.
Probably.
Maybe.
I mean, I think if you don't bring in Matthew Stafford to not give him weapons. So
that's true.
Man, they got Woods.
Probably.
Who is Woods?
They got Woods.
Cooper Kupp.
They got Cooper Kupp.
Who is Woods?
And that guy they drafted from Florida. He's good too. Van Jefferson.
Who is Woods?
Robert Woods.
That's Robert Woods.
Robert Woods.
Who is Woods? Shake?
Who is Woods?
Dude, are we playing Jeopardy?
Yes, we
are. We playing Jeopardy?
I'm just saying, that's not a weapon. Like, he is a number 3 receiver at best.
Whose man's is this?
He's a receiver that can run a jet sweep.
Come on, man! You got to put some respect on that guy, man. He's good, man. What the hell are you talking about?
He's good. I don't know if he's a number 1 receiver, but he's good though.
No, he's a number 3.
I'm not saying he's a number 1 receiver, but I'm just saying he's a viable weapon.
You act
like a team is supposed to have Randy Mosses all over the damn field.
I'm just saying, like, you talk about some Woods, like that doesn't concern me.
Listen, the name Robert Woods doesn't put fear in the hearts of defensive coordinators.
Oh, let me ask you this. Pete just brought it up.
He's a very good player.
Put up a break point. Would Robert Woods start in Miami?
Yes.
Let me see. He would over Matt Collins.
Yeah, he would.
He would.
He would.
He would over a lot of these people. The only person he wanted to start over would be Preston Williams and Devontae Parker. That's it. He will beat out everybody else we have on that damn receiving court.
Albert Wilson is still on the roster. No, Albert Wilson is still on the roster.
No, Albert Wilson opted out, and he's going to get cut. So next,
he ain't get cut yet. So he ain't better than Albert Wilson. He ain't better than Albert Wilson. He ain't better than Allen.
No, we're talking.
He ain't better than
Allen Hurd. Please, the Cowboys didn't want him.
I will say this much,
the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't want him, so let that sink in.
I will say this much though: if you got Preston Williams as the starter, you better have his backup ready to go. That's all I got to say about Preston Williams.
Yeah,
you better have a very viable backup ready to go behind him.
I'm 100%.
Dolphins fans like Allen Hurns. Dolphins fans like Allen Hurns because he went to that crappy university down in Miami.
Hey, I'm not one of those fans. I became a fan of Allen Hurns, but I'm not going to disagree with you. You definitely need to have some depth behind Preston Williams, but again, no dollar store depth. I need some real players.
I hear you. I mean, at a certain point, we're gonna have to start taking the getting wide receivers. We're gonna start taking it a little more seriously than hoping to find a guy here and hoping to find a guy there. We're gonna have to invest in somebody. Hopefully the draft. I'm not saying it's got to be the 3rd pick, but we got to invest in somebody at the wide receiver position, man.
Yeah, we do.
I agree with that. I 1,000% agree with that. But what's wrong with free agency? There's gonna be some good quality guys in free agency that you can get.
Listen, I like Allen Robinson. I like Allen Robinson a lot, but
I don't think he fits. He doesn't fit well.
That the price tag on him is up there. That's my only hesitancy.
I was thinking more of a Curtis Samuel, perhaps. I've
heard that lots too.
I don't want to have nothing to do with Juju. If he
don't like Juju?
No, I don't like Juju. He doesn't have that killer instinct.
I understand. And anybody who doesn't like Juju, I understand why.
He doesn't have it. So, and plus he's a little immature for me. If you put him in that situation in Miami, I just don't. I don't want that softness to rub over onto my receivers that I got in Miami because we already got some soft receivers in the locker room.
So by soft wide receivers, who are you talking about?
Let's see here. Mike Gesicki, he's soft. Devontae Parker, he's soft.
Don't hold on. No. I'm not giving you that one. I'm not giving you that one.
You're not giving
you that one.
You're not giving me Devontae.
No, I'm not. No, not after this past season. No,
Why
no, I'm not giving you that one.
Why?
Because the man played hurt all year.
Okay, that's nice, but I need to see when it comes to the playing the receiving position. You got to add some type of aggression to it. Like I need some yak after the catch. Can he give me some yak after the catch, please? Yeah, I need some yards after the catch. That's all I'm asking for.
We need some dogs.
He's not blowing guys out of the water in a foot race. He's the guy that goes up and get it. You're not gonna get yards after the catch there.
That's understandable, Cass. But like, if you running a slant route, don't fall to the ground. Like, come on, try to pick up another 5-10 yards for your boy. Can you do that for me? That's all I'm asking for. And that's all I want. I understand. I respect the aspect of playing through injury, but you got to break a tackle or two or something.
Yeah.
See, yard after the catch. Hold on. Aggressive. Yards after the catch, breaks tackle. Who does that remind me of? Jarvis Landry? Remember him?
I hear a lot of crying. Since we started this pod, I've been hearing a lot of crying about the budget that we have. And if we being completely honest with right now, do we think that Jarvis Landry is worth $60 million?
He didn't even want that. He would have taken less money. He would have taken $13 million.
Oh no. He said, I want to be paid like a top 5 receiver. At the time, that would have put him at $60 million.
For how many years? 4 years? 60?
It don't matter. $60 million is $60 million.
Over how many years?
I'll probably say about 4 or 5. Don't quote me on that.
I give it to him.
For what? You're playing
Jarvis Landry? Yes.
No.
Yes.
You're playing the slot.
I tell you what, he helped Cleveland get in the playoffs. And wasn't he the receiver when we went to that playoff run that you keep talking about?
Oh my God. I'm not even going to give credit to I'll give him a little bit of credit because he was on the team. He was in the backpack, but right on top of on Bradley Chubb.
And as soon as he left, no more playoffs.
Who? They just got into the playoffs.
It's
the first time they made it to the playoffs. Now we want to credit that to Jarvis Landry. All that hoorah crap that he was saying on Hard Knocks didn't pay off that year, so I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get Freddie Kitchens as your head coach.
Yeah, that was not a good move on their part.
It's Freddie Kitchens' fault now.
He was not a good head coach.
Well, I'm just saying.
Him and that tequila slinging Hugh Jackson.
I think that had a lot to do with Baker Mayfield, but that's I don't have hard evidence for me to go ahead with that argument. But personally, back to Jarvis Landry, he was not worth $60 million. 4 years over $60 million.
I would have gave it to him. I would have gave it to him.
He wasn't catching over 10 touchdowns. That's an elite stat for a receiver to have. He barely made it over 1,000, and he wasn't taking the top. He wasn't taking the top off of a defense. I'm sorry, you're not worth $60 million to me.
He was a possession receiver, though.
What does that mean?
First downs. He kept the chains moving. That's what I mean. We were always in goal line, and we was always in a goal line. It's not his fault that Tannehill couldn't get the push it in.
Now you're taking a shot. Now that's what you're doing right now. You just said Tannehill.
And you're talking about not taking defenses over the top. Larry Fitzgerald hasn't taken the defenses over the top in how many years?
Havoc. Have you seen?
I've seen him lately. I've seen him lately. He's a possession receiver.
Not to mention we had Kenny Stills. Wasn't Kenny Stills supposed to take over the people over the top?
That's the number one receiver.
Kenny Stills' job was to go
Kenny Stills the number one receiver.
Yes.
Oh my God! Really?
Oh my God!
Hey, when you're averaging 20 yards a catch, then come talk to me.
That's because he caught one every 2 games.
He caught 3 catches. He got 3 balls a game, bro.
Hey, Cass. You can look this up. He had under 60 catches and had 986 yards.
I believe that because he would only catch one a game for 50 yards a game.
Oh, no, it don't add up that way. It don't even add up that way.
He only ran one route.
Yeah.
He only ran one route. That's it.
That's cool. Do that. That takes the top off. That poses that prevents the defense from coming in and stacking the box to stop the run. I'm taking that over Jarvis. If I had to make a pick, you give me Kenny.
When they let Kenny Stills go, I wanted them to go get Kenny Stills. I would have gladly taken back because he can go the long route, which Tua can hit and catch it.
Kenny's the guy.
Kenny Stills was a very good deep threat. And I think calling him a number one is diminishing how good he was as a deep threat.
He was the number one.
He didn't have a lot of competition for the number one spot.
He didn't have a lot of competition. You had Devontae, your so-called
Devontae was hurt almost the entire time Kenny Stills was here.
Okay, well, Jarvis was there, but I saw most of his work in the slot. So I'm sorry. When you're limited as a receiver, you don't deserve to be paid top dollar.
I understand your point.
Kenny Stills is limited as a receiver.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is. Anybody could guard his ass. He is not unguardable.
Okay,
he is no Tyreek Hill
out there, and you guard Kenny Stills, and you see how that works out for you.
Oh yeah, I don't pay for the NFL, so
I'm just saying.
All right, you guard Jarvis Landry then. I'll guard Kenny Stills, and you guard Jarvis Landry.
No freaking problems.
This guy is nuts. This guy's nuts.
No freaking problem.
He'll break every tackle you have.
He will break your nose, bro. What are you talking about?
He won't even catch the ball on me.
This guy's nuts. What? I haven't seen Jarvis Landry drop a ball in 2 years.
That's understandable, but I'm just again.
He will give you all kind of first downs.
I'll put it to you like this.
Absolutely.
I'll put it to you like this. If he took something less than 50 million, then yeah, we are in an agreement. But you're not getting 60. That you're robbing me right now.
Well, somebody paid him. So and then the team that did pay him, they had a very nice, playoff run. So
thanks to Bradley Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
See, there you go. Don't ever. There you go.
There you go.
There you go, man. You see, I'm saying when you have some sort of a preconceived bias against a player, anytime their team has success, you will give credit to you'll give credit to the ball boy instead of giving credit to Jarvis Landry.
And I'm not gonna sit back and spill out ill will here, but I'm pretty sure Kareem Hunt and Bradley Chubb's numbers in the playoffs was a whole lot better than what you got out of Jarvis Landry.
Listen, they bring different skill sets to the table. But I get it. I get what you're saying. I'm very interested to, and I understand the argument. He was open. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't throwing the ball around, but I could only base Kenny Stills off of what he's done during his career, and during his career, he has been, in my opinion, a very good deep threat. He probably still is a very good deep threat wherever he plays next season. So, number one guy, I don't think so.
Back in Miami, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I don't know about now.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys need a slot receiver. Kenny Stills is your guy.
He wouldn't know what to do in the slot. He's ready to run.
Isn't he a boundary guy?
No, he was one of the best route runners on the team.
Okay, but I'm saying, isn't his best
go route
usage
just the go route? That's pretty much what he ran.
Yeah. I mean,
narrative. Here's the narrative. We only saw him catch long passes, so we just assume that he cannot run routes, but he can run routes.
Okay,
900 yards worth of routes.
Just one.
I'm just saying, if you just put this out there, because we have this discussion right now as far as 2 or 3 balls a game. Now let's divide that into a 16 game span. 50 catches divided by 16 is what?
I don't know. I'm not a math major. I study psychology.
I'm not a math guy either.
Mhm.
60 divided by 16. So you talk about 4 catches a game.
Okay. Well, when you're talking about a number one receiver, I mean, you're talking about over 10 targets a game. Now, is Kenny still going to give you the level of production consistently that merits that many targets per game?
You know what? Now that you brought this to my attention, I'm going to say his head is touching the ceiling as far as being a number one. He's definitely a number two, but his head is touching the ceiling. Just like
you know who he is? You know who he's Chris Middleton. He's Chris Middleton.
Yes, he's Chris Middleton for the Milwaukee Bucks. Exactly.
He's not a superstar by any stretch of the imagination, but he can do a lot for you. He can do a whole lot for you, more than some of these other role players can. He ain't the guy. If he's the best player on your team is going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he is very good as a number two.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yep.
Yes, no more slights, Shake. Please. You're disrespecting my guys.
What you talking about? No more what?
I said no more slights.
What you talking about?
You're disrespecting my guys. Now, if you say something about Albert Wilson, I might have to jump through this screen.
Albert Wilson's very
Albert
nice.
Wilson.
I love Albert Wilson.
He's cool.
He made me forget about Jarvis Landry real quick.
I mean, Albert Wilson's that guy. From a talent perspective, he's that guy. Just need to stay healthy.
Yeah, one injury.
He had one injury, and went around too much last season. Understandably, we all understand why. But look, man, if he can, in my opinion, if Albert Wilson's healthy, he will be Tua's best friend. In my opinion, a healthy Albert Wilson is Tua's best friend.
I could agree.
I think they should keep him.
Because
I think they should keep him though.
Usually the tight end is the quarterback's best friend that'll bail him out. I don't know if Gesicki is necessarily built for that role.
He's soft.
He's kind of a big wide receiver. He's not even really a tight end.
Soft.
So,
you're not a big fan of Gesicki, eh?
At this point, we are in what year? We in year 3?
3, I think. Yep.
And what we have saw that transpired in year 3, 2020, where you saw a lot of Durham Smythe in the mix and a lot of Adam Shaheen in the mix. I don't see him coming back after next year. I don't see it. I really don't.
No, you know what? My dream scenario would be that we take Penisa well, we get back into the top 10 and draft Kyle Pitts.
Oh yeah, if we get Pitts. Oh damn! Now we talk about a tight end. Now we talk about somebody that's hard.
Real tight end.
That's a real dude right there, boy. 6'5".
6'6". Actually,
I mean, look, and you know what? And he can look. He can block, man.
Yeah, he can block. 6'5", 236.
Actually, he's 6'6" though, but it don't make no difference. But still,
that's unofficially.
Yeah, but all I know is when he played for Florida, he played on the boundary. He played in the slot. He played as a tight end. So he could play everywhere.
And
see it, Gesicki. I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah,
you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if that was a draft day trade anyway.
Hey, we could get a nice second round pick for his ass too.
Gesicki's not untouchable. He's definitely not untouchable.
Yeah, going into a contract year. We going into the draft. If we have an opportunity to bring in Pitts, let's play devil's advocate here. If we do decide we want to trade back to that 6th pick and we ended up having another first round draft pick, let's say we can swap that out, get rid of the 2 second round picks and come back into the first 2 as well. I'm taking Pitts.
Yeah. Look, I hear you. And look, there's a lot of correlation between top end, tight ends, and playoff teams. Like the top end playoff teams, they seem to keep a top 5 tight end. So I would definitely invite it, especially talking about a guy with the versatility that can basically, you can split him out wide if you need to, but you can also bring him back in and you can block.
In a no homo way, I'm in love with that dude. I'm just being 100. I'm in love with that.
You know what? I'll say the main thing I got against Gesicki is when he's in the game, he ain't blocking. He ain't blocking when he's in the game. So you lose the illusion of what's gonna happen. That's my main thing against Gesicki.
So he's basically got the issue with what the Washington football team had with Jordan Reed. He can't block, so when he comes in, we know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, very same thing.
I mainly liked him when he could run a seam route, and wherever that ball is, he will go get that ball. No doubt in my mind. 98% of the time, I think he's going to come down with that ball.
I think if we're just evaluating him as a receiver, which to be honest, I think when you evaluate Mike Gesicki, you have to evaluate him as a wide receiver. I mean, he literally doesn't block anymore. So
doesn't block anymore. They don't put him.
He never did. He never did. But I mean, look, man, year 3. If I want a big wide receiver, I got Devontae, I got Preston. You're a faster version of Preston, maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't really know what his place is. He's not really a tight end. That's the main issue I have with Gesicki. Very good at what he does, not a tight end.
Yep, and like I said, his Durham Smythe's production and Adam Shaheen's production. Shake did have me going a little bit there when he made that bold prediction where he thought that Durham Smythe was going to have over 500 yards receiving. I was like, okay, yeah.
He got 200.
Yeah, he got 200. But at the time, I was like, you had a little bit too much to drink. But he might get them 500 yards this year though. if we don't get.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I'm never rolling on the backup tight end. Getting 500 yards, but
he's the starter now.
Who? Smythe? Oh yeah, he is actually. You're right.
Smythe is the starter.
You're right. I like Smythe. I like Smythe actually.
Yeah, he's the starter. Like I love him as a blocker. I thought if he could just develop better as a receiver, we might have something. What was he like a 3rd or 4th round pick? I think
he got better. He got better receiving as the season went along. Though I thought he was just all blocker, but he got better with his hands as the season went along. That being said, it's even like if you look at the yards and you look at his receiving ability, most people would say Gesicki is like at least a top 10 guy, maybe. But I think the fact that he absolutely under no circumstances blocks, I can't put him in top 10.
Yeah. See, so because I haven't watched a lot of tape on Darren Waller for the Las Vegas Raiders, but does he line up as a tight end with his hand in the dirt?
He does both. He does both. Yeah, he blocks. He blocks. They mostly split him out wide, but he can block. At very least, you have to respect him as a blocking option. Where with Gesicki, you don't really have to worry about it.
Okay.
But that's
not as much.
Waller's main usage is split out,
sure.
Because Darren Waller looks a whole lot smaller than Mike Gesicki.
Well, wait. You said Darren Waller looks smaller than Mike Gesicki?
Yeah, he looks smaller than Mike Gesicki.
I don't know about that one.
Because I know Gesicki, he's sitting at like what 6'5", 6'6", 240.
I mean, I think Waller might be comparable to Gesicki. I mean, just from a physique standpoint, Waller's got Gesicki smashed. That dude is granite, basically.
Yeah, Waller is 6'6", 250. Wow, 255.
Yeah, like he's big.
You know what Waller reminds me of? Josh Gordon. Back when he was in his prime.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon. And you also Metcalf is ripped like that too, man. Metcalf.
Yeah,
You ever seen him without a shirt?
Gesicki and Waller are the same size. So Gesicki about 250. But Waller looks a whole lot more skinnier when I'm watching him on TV.
I mean, the black is very slim.
Probably because he's lined up to offensive lineman, next to offensive lineman. That probably make him look skinny.
like legitimately, he looks a whole lot smaller.
I mean, all I know is he may look. Every time I see him, he does look like a new era big wide receiver. But I mean, look, he's not necessarily like a stocky dude or anything like that. But if you look at the modern tight ends, they're not really. Unless you're just strictly a blocking dude, they're looking more like wide receivers now,
Right.
They're looking more like wide receivers.
The only one
now.
who's like a real anomaly is Rob Gronkowski, because not only is he tall, but he's not really, he's thick, you know what I mean?
Kittle's like the new era Gronk.
Yeah, Kittle's an all-around tight end too. Yeah. All right, fellas. Last topic of the day. I know there was a report earlier today that had, it was yesterday, excuse me, about J.J. Watt, where he was possibly going to land. They had Cleveland as the
J.J. Watt
currently. So, anybody want to put out a bold prediction where J.J. Watt's going to end up landing at?
I'm surprised he really wants to go there.
Yeah, I said it before. I'm going to say it again, man. He's going to Green Bay. He's going to Green Bay.
See, he said he didn't want to be part of a rebuild. And
right.
Not that Cleveland's in a rebuild anymore, but they're not quite there. I was just going to assume that he wanted to go after a ring right away. So, honestly, I think his best bet would be the Bucs, as much as I don't want to say it, the Chiefs. But the Packers would be a good fit too.
Mm-hmm. And what does Aaron Rodgers say every year? He's never really begging for offensive weapons. He needs a better defense to help him get over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, offensive weapons, yeah. I think we need some offensive weapons here.
And sadly, the last time Aaron Rodgers had a top 5 defense, they won the Super Bowl. And that was the last time he had a top 5 defense.
With the man in the Hall of Fame.
It's true. And this is what happens when you got it's the curse of the generational talent. Organizations, they see a guy like Aaron Rodgers, and instead of saying we have a great quarterback, so we're going to invest in defense, they just they never really bothered in heavily investing in the defense. Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to fill the gap if there's a talent gap. Aaron Rodgers can fill that gap. But Aaron Rodgers can't play defense. So they need to, if JJ Watt's out there and I'm Green Bay, I'm jumping at it.
So nobody's on board with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Could happen.
That's me. I'm on board. And if I make a bold prediction, Tampa too could be another destination.
No Miami's?
For the right price, I'd take him.
I think Miami could. I just don't think Miami's at the top of his list.
Oh, probably not. But
yeah.
Anytime, like I seen someone put out there, anytime a a free agent becomes available, everybody's like, get him, let's get that guy in. I'm like that a lot, but if I had a chance at a JJ Watt, there's another guy. He's an established guy. For the right price,
you can't
be mad to have him on your defense.
Nope.
Right.
Hey, you know what's funny? I joked on Twitter today. I said if Barry Sanders was to unretire, some Dolphins fans be like, "Oh man, a top 5 running back. We need him."
Well, yeah. Hey, y'all remember when we brought in Chris Carter and Thurman Thomas?
Mm-hmm. Actually, Thurman Thomas was the last time we won a playoff game. If I'm not mistaken.
Wait. The last time we won a playoff game was with Lamar Smith.
Oh yeah,
that was
Thurman Thomas.
Was Thurman Thomas on that team?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be damned. Well, Lamar Smith had like a 200-yard game, so we know who won that playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, I don't, as Dolphins fans, I don't want to get into the habit of signing has-beens again. Although JJ Watt, nothing close to a has-been.
If we can get him at, like I'm agree with Cass, if we can get him at an affordable price,
you love to see him out there.
I wouldn't mind him being.
You love to see him out there with the Dolphins jersey.
Yeah, and that tilt.
Absolutely.
But you know what's
the young guys too.
It's funny though. I think the reason we signed Chris Carter is because Oakland signed Jerry Rice and Tim Brown. So I think we wanted to get on that old bandwagon.
Well, but the problem was Chris Carter had already retired, and we convinced him to come out of retirement, and then one of his kidneys exploded when he got hit and had to go to the hospital. Like at least Tim Brown and Jerry Rice, they never stopped playing. Chris Carter was like, I'm done, and he had to get back into shape to play for the Dolphins. And I mean, even when he was healthy, he looked not good. Like, he did not look good at all. Like, Chris Carter was out here dropping balls.
I think also that even a veteran leadership would be great to have. Like, even going back to the receiver side, you go pick up a Julio Jones as just an example. Just to have a veteran guy like that to talk to the kids, or Larry Fitzgerald, or whoever you want, I don't care who it is, but just to have that, hey, this is what you could have done different. Holy crap, look at him go.
Yeah.
Having JJ Watt on the defense.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Being able to coach up Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis. Who else we got back there? That's Van Ginkel, all those guys. I think that'll be good for them because you think about it.
I'm sure he's giving an inspirational speech every now and then.
Yeah, you think about it. The team is very young. Like, I think your oldest player right now is Van Noy. He's sitting at like 31.
Yeah.
So having another leader in that locker room would be great. We love to bring back Cam Wake, by the way.
Also, just have a veteran.
There you go.
That has have a veteran that has the mentality of, I'm gonna be the first one in the building, and I'm gonna be the last one to leave.
By the way, Cam's jersey is taken now, so sorry.
Oh, what you mean? He gonna get it back?
You'll get that back. That's not a problem.
He gonna, hey, I'm gonna put up the petition my damn self. All right, Emmanuel, I respect you, but you gotta give the jersey back.
You get 93.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They could fight for it. They could fight for it.
Oh, Emmanuel gonna lose.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I like Cam Wake in the fight.
Oh my god. I saw him sitting down with Total Access. He had that muscle shirt on. I'm like, damn, his whole arm is bigger than my body.
And you know what? The thing is, if you look at Cam Wake, you look at his weight, he's not the heaviest dude, but he's like, I've never like, Cam Wake's body reminds me of David Boston off the steroids. Like David Boston clearly was on steroids his entire career. Like he was too big. Cam Wake looked as close as you can to David Boston without taking steroids.
Yeah,
I agree.
Explosive.
Yeah,
and he's vegan too. He has a very healthy diet too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you could definitely look at Cam Wake and tell this dude takes care of himself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Any final thoughts before we close this thing out?
As always, appreciate the opportunity to come on, chop it up. Appreciate Kaz coming on, joining us, joining the conversation. Appreciate you coming through. As always, stay safe.
No, I really appreciate you guys having me out.
Yeah, man, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna get my internet working soon, so you can see my ugly face again. So I appreciate you guys for taking the time and coming out and hearing what we got to say. So thanks for everybody in the chat, and thanks again, DeVore, for giving us the opportunity, man.
Yes, sir. Real quick, shout out to Cameron Wake. He's from the Maryland area. You know, I got to shout out my Maryland guys. But yes, Cass, we appreciate you coming on, man. I hope we got rid of the stage fright pretty early. Thank
you very much.
It ain't hard. It's not that hard. Normal conversation. But you can follow Cass on Twitter at CassWolf13. Also, be sure. Oh, go ahead, Cass.
Sorry, I next time I do this, if I get another chance, I'll definitely have to do this on my phone because I got it on my laptop and I had a lot of lagging going on. So I'm sorry if I missed one or two things, but I definitely appreciate you having me out here. I really enjoyed it for the first time doing this.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. You're welcome anytime, man. Especially, we'd love to hear your thoughts when we get to the draft, for sure, because a lot of things could happen from now until the draft.
Absolutely. Next month, I think a lot of stuff's going to be crazy. So,
yeah. So never say never, Havoc and Shake. Never say never. There might be a number. There might be a number 4 as our starting quarterback.
Man, please. Never say never is a Justin Bieber album.
But yeah, you can.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Shake?
The only way we'll have a number 4. The only way we'll have a number 4 is if we drop the quarterback and we give him that jersey number.
Oh, okay. Never say never.
Nice.
Now I don't care how laggy. I don't care how laggy your face is on the camera. I'm going to see your face that day.
You gonna pull up to the job?
Take off the aluminum foil hat and accept the.
Except Tua as your quarterback.
Did you watch Reading Rainbow when you was a kid?
Hell yeah, of course I did.
Okay, so use your imagination.
Well,
yeah, and it's
maybe
in a
you
book.
Should take a look. Maybe you should take a look because it's in a book. It's Reading Rainbow.
But you can follow Cass on Twitter at CassWolf13. Also, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and most definitely share. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. This is the Not for Debate. We up out of here, man.
Peace.